security challenges, in our opinion, seem to have overwhelmed our security institutions.
The governors are supposed to be the state security officers of their state.
There is need for us to at least engage the traditional rulers.
We need to do something about our porous borders.
We have to own it from the unit level to the ward level to the local government to state.
Mr. President, the importance of today for us is for us to take action.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. For when agencies receive letters inviting them to come for budget defense, they must come for budget defense.
As 2023 budget scaled second reading, Senate President urges ministries, departments and agencies to appear for budget defense.
A consistent and meaningful participation in community and/or national development.
And senators eulogize Senate President for the award of national honors, just as President Buhari lists criteria for the awards. Welcome to Inside the Senate. I am Hussaina Amina Aboki, your anchor. The presentation of the 2023 Appropriation Act by President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday, the 7th of October 2022 marked its first reading. As a result, it was presented for second reading on Wednesday, the 12th of October, during which senators debated the general principles of the Appropriation Bill. Details in the course of our program. In other reports, we shall consider motions brought before the Senate as well as committee activities. Details of these and more in this episode of Inside the Senate. Sit back as I take you through the program after this timeout.
The Senate to send a message to the President
to reap opportunities from that agreement.
Raise a matter of urgent public importance.
And we are aware that when this particular motion comes up
for a longer term development, arise to second the motion.
Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Welcome back. With the presentation of the 2023 budget by President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday, the 7th of October 2022, it was deemed to have been read first time. Accordingly, it was presented for second reading on Tuesday, the 12th of October 2022, with the Senate leader leading the debate. In the lead debate, the Senate leader noted that the total scenario of recurrent expenditure, which stands at 43% of the total budget, is too high.
It contains personal costs, pensions, benefits, overheads. These are expenses that are necessary for stabilizing the government and the polity. It is expected that the total fiscal operations of the federal government to result in a deficit of 10.78 trillion naira. This represents 4.78% of the estimated GDP, above the 3% threshold set by the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2007.
Senators in their contributions spoke on various topics in the budget.
Why is our recurrent expenditure going up? Why is it supposed to go down? Especially now that technology has made work easier and cheaper. It is very important because this money would have been used for other very important things, especially capital. In the capital even, 4.9 trillion is capital. We are in a war situation. The Nigerian Army budget is, the recurrent or overhead is about over 500. But the capital is still 32, not trillion, sir, 32 billion.
Mr. President, in a budget of about 2021, let me even round it up to 20.5 trillion, that will have a huge deficit of slightly more than half, then there's a problem. And I think the issue that we are having, it is not even in all of this that we are talking about that, yes, I know that we should find a way to reduce our expenditures.
My worry is what we are doing now in debt service is merely paying the interest element of the debts of the monies we borrowed, because most of those monies are long tenured. So we have a long moratorium period. The challenge now comes when we start paying the actual monies we borrowed outside the interest. And so our debt service will, in 1 year, it has moved by 75%. It's really a dangerous one.
Education is key to all national development all over the world. And today I can say that rather than improve on our allocation to education, will educational allocation continue to dwindle? I'll give you a few examples. In 2020, the allocation to education was 6.2. In 2021, it came down to 5.6. And in 2023, as we are seeing now, we are talking about 5.2. And so, Mr. President, if we are not investing in education, then of course we are not getting the point.
We need to reduce the cost of governance. The cost of governance is too heavy. The cost of governance should be channeled into manufacturing sector and into productive sector. We are not doing anything. We are just a consuming nation. We should go back to agriculture.
That constant repetition of purchase of computer, purchase of stationery, purchase of all kinds of things. To what extent have we properly scrutinized and done due diligence on this? Mr. President, this is one of the fundamental areas where, if we are talking about leakages, we must begin to look at.
With this, the Appropriation Act scaled second reading and was referred to the Senate Committee on Appropriation for more legislative action. In doing this, other committees would be expected to assume the position of subcommittees under the Committee on Appropriation to host ministries, departments, and agencies to budget defense exercises. As a result, plenary is now suspended to reconvene on Tuesday, the 15th of November 2022. Senate President Ahmed Lawan, in his remark, urged the MDAs to make themselves available for budget defense alongside all required documents.
When agencies receive letters inviting them to come for budget defense, they must come for budget defense. And when they come, we expect they will come with all the necessary information that will help our committees to make informed decisions.
We'll now take a short break for the notebook segment. Don't go away.
Legislative lobbying is the art of influencing legislative decisions towards a policy. It is championed by a lawmaker or a group of lawmakers with a view to achieving positive objectives. It could also be undertaken by civil society organizations and other pressure groups to press home their interests and desires from legislators.
Welcome back. Moving on, the Senate, in other discussions during plenary, considered bills and motions under matters of urgent public importance. For details of these proceedings, let's take this next report as presented from our studio. Do stay tuned.
The flood has caused many deaths and displaced.
The Senate was confronted with a motion under matters of urgent public importance on the need to address the effect of flooding, titled Urgent Need to Rehabilitate, Reconstruct the Emoha Calabari Road.
The poor state of the Emoha Calabari Road is causing civil unrest among residents and commuters due to the incessant kidnapping on the highway. The safety of lives and property of indigents and residents within the affected community is in jeopardy.
All who contributed supported the motion, resulting in the following resolutions. Urged the Nigerian police to assign a tactical unit to beef up security along the road, and urged the Federal Ministry of Work and FEMA to ensure immediate rehabilitation and reconstruction of the road.
May I seize this opportunity to...
Senator Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf on Tuesday the 12th of October 2022 came under personal explanation to congratulate the Senate President and thank President Muhammadu Buhari for recognizing and awarding national honors to the Senate President, other legislators alongside more than 400 Nigerians for various categories of national award.
May I seize this opportunity to congratulate you and the other members of this Senate for this award that you have received, will you earn it? At the same time, may I also commend Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for considering this award worthy of giving to our sons and daughters of this country.
Matters under personal explanation are not open to debate. However, the Senate President commented on the matter.
No parliamentarian, no matter how intelligent, brilliant, or workaholic he is or she is, can make it alone. So this is a recognition for the Senate.
The awardees were conferred with their various honors at a ceremony that took place at the International Conference Center, Abuja, on Tuesday, the 11th of October 2022. President Muhammadu Buhari, in his remark at the occasion, enumerated some of the criteria that qualify the awardees for the honor.
A. Consistent and meaningful participation in community and/or national development. B. Rendering unsolicited, selfless, and philanthropic services to humanity. Outstanding sacrifice in the defense of the cause, popularly adjudged to be positive, relevant, and beneficial to the nation and community.
While Senator Ahmed Lawal received the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON, other eminent Nigerians, amongst them security chiefs, legislators, the Senate clerk, Mr. Akubweze Chinedu, the royal fathers, amongst other dignitaries, received awards ranging from Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, as well as Commander of the Federal Republic, CFR, for their contributions to the development of Nigeria. Speaking on behalf of the awardees, Senate President Ahmed Lawal described the gesture as a call to duty.
This award is an additional call to service for all of us awardees. This is a call to duty and an invitation to realize that citizens' efforts will not be in vain. We are therefore inspired, motivated, and admonished to keep up our input as stakeholders in the building of a virile nation.
Mention them.
At a dinner party to celebrate the recipients, lawmakers cutting across political and regional leanings eulogized the Senate President.
If any person will claim success in this democratic dispensation, I believe we are one of them. From 1999 till date, working tirelessly, researching on documents, drafting bills, proposing motions, and all that. I think the honor actually fits you. And I believe that you keep on. Your star is very bright. And I see it shining further. There are other opportunities, many great opportunities. Who knows when and who knows how they will come. Just as you were not expecting GCON in 1999 or 2003 when I met you.
We all these honor and award to His Excellency, the Senate President. He has done it all for us. We dedicate this honor to the entire Senate of the National Assembly, because without every one of us, without every one senator, we wouldn't have succeeded, and this recognition wouldn't have come as it came now. And I believe that many more will definitely be on their way to getting different kind of honors.
Mr. President, you have done quite a lot for the Senate. In fact, irrespective of whatever anybody can say, you have proved to be worthy of following. You have proved to be somebody that can be emulated. You are our model, Your Excellency.
Senator Ahmed Lawal, on his part, dedicated the award to the 9th Senate while also describing the day as special.
It's a special day because the efforts that National Assembly, the 9th National Assembly particularly, has been put in for national development have been recognized in a way. Yes, the number is the highest in the history of award of national honors by the executive. But I think every distinguished senator deserves that award.
Welcome back from that break. Senate President Ahmed Lawan has expressed the need to reflect on Nigeria's educational needs to remedy its limitations and map out the kind of institutions it needs. He stated this at a public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on Tertiary Education and TED Fund on the 6th of October 2022. Let's take this report on this hearing as compiled and presented from our studio.
The public hearing by the Committee on Tertiary Education and TED Fund was to consider 5 bills seeking the establishment of health and education-related institutions. The bills under consideration are Federal University of Health Sciences Azare Bauchi State Establishment Bill 2022, Federal College of Education Jama'are Bauchi State Establishment Bill 2022, University of History, Archaeology and Education SA Kwara State Establishment Bill 2022, Federal Polytechnic Kabo Kano State Establishment Bill 2022, as well as Federal University of Education Okene Kogi State Establishment Bill 2022. The Senate President was represented by Deputy Senate Leader Senator Ajayi Borofis.
The proposals are therefore appropriate, considering the regular prerequisite to evaluate requirement alongside the possibility of meeting the demands. In doing this, we are strengthening the ideas behind the proposal or opening them up for further development just in case. I therefore thank you for your presence here today, just as I am confident we shall do justice to the bills as stakeholders in the development of a nation.
University of History, Archaeology and Education.
Earlier in a welcome address, the committee chairman stated that the committee would work towards ensuring the passage of the bills in view of the position of education in nation building.
Education is the backbone of every society, and this bill therefore seeks to strengthen these pillars for the enhancement and development of our great country. However, the viability and sustainability of this prospective institution is a shared responsibility for all of us as stakeholders that require mutual and collective support and cooperation at all times.
Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Alhaji Yayale Ahmed, on behalf of others, made a case for the establishment of the University of Health Science, Azare.
We feel that this is a university coming at the right time, and in due course, some of the statistics will be given as to why this university is so important. We are going to really support not only the establishment, but the sustenance of this university through community effort.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Culture, Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, represented the Minister, Alhaji Lai Mohammed.
A lot of times, the children have forgotten what history is all about. A lot of times, we don't honor our culture. And in Nigeria today, we don't have a single university that is specialized in history, archaeology, and education. So on this note, and on behalf of my Honorable Minister, I want to say that as stakeholders, we are really in support of the establishment of this university.
A professor of historical archaeology from the University of Ibadan lamented that the absence of a University of History has all the while hindered the cultural and indigenous knowledge system of the Nigerian and African people.
The proposed university will in no small measure promote this much needed awareness about the resources of history and archaeology and the great potentials they portend for a national development that caters for grassroots mobilization of the majority of our peoples who are the custodians of a very significant proportion of items of our cultural and natural heritage.
Dr. Usman Garo spoke in favor of the establishment of Federal Polytechnic, Kabul.
I would like to stand on the existing protocol and go straight to the point of the benefits that may likely be derived by establishing this institution in our locality. The benefits range from economic. On the economic point, we are going to benefit immensely from manpower and human resource development.
The Federal University of Education Okene Kogi State Bill 2022 was also supported by Dr. Hassan Umar.
I recall that in several visits I make to His Royal Highness, the Hinoi of Iberland, has always reminded me that one of the important things he wants to see happen in his lifetime is the establishment of Federal University of Education, Okene. This university, when established, is going to be very, very supportive of the existing structures we have in the college.
The former executive secretary of TED Fund, Professor Suleiman Ogoro, was also on ground to make contributions.
I am supporting this bill to emerge as an act very soon because it addresses the issue of access, one, as well as addressing key issues in the various sectors by priority in our nation. Having said that, I want to recognize that we've heard from others speaking in respect of those institutions that have been established in their communities. There's no mistake about it. What we were able to do at TED Fund, for which I had the privilege of working with this great committee, was to ensure that we apply the funds to change the circumstance of our tertiary institutions.
At the end, the committee chairman expressed delight that no one opposed the bills and promised to ensure their passage.
And the single fact that we never had anybody opposing these bills, it was very smooth and I believe successful. Be rest assured that we will not leave any stone unturned to when we get this institution up and running.
Those were highlights of events from the committee rooms. Our profile segment is next. Stand by for our Senator of the Week.
Senator Godia Akwashiki was born on the 3rd of August 1973. He represents Nasarawa North Senatorial District under APC. He attended government primary school Ambaiga for his first school leaving certificate in 1987 and the Government Technical College Asakio from 1988 to 1993 for his senior school certificate. Senator Akwashiki obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from Nasarawa State University, Kefi, Nasarawa State in 2010. He joined politics and was elected member Nasarawa State House of Assembly, where he served 2 terms, first from 2011 to 2015, during which he was majority leader, and from 2015 to 2019, during which he served as deputy speaker. He contested election to the Senate in the 2019 general elections under APC and won to represent Nasarawa North Senatorial District. He is currently the chairman, Senate Committee on Labor and Productivity, and a member of several other committees. His legislative interests include education, agriculture, security, and youth and women empowerment.
With this, we come to the end of this week's package of Inside the Senate. Be with us next week for another edition, and thanks for watching.